Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, northern suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we're going to talk about the top of the line 1956 Oldsmobile, and that being the 98 Starfire Convertible. Give you all the details in a moment. Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, northern suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we're going to talk about our latest acquisition, newest on our sales floor, a 1956 Oldsmobile 98 Starfire Convertible, the rarest of all Oldsmobiles and the most expensive in 1956 as well. Now you're going to want to watch this entire video from start to finish because we're going to do a cold start, we're going to do a walk around, give you more of the details of this really great 50s icon, if you will. So you can also click on the link in the description and it will take you right to our website and right to the information on this car, giving you pricing, information, and everything else. Now, our website being www.ellingsonmotorcars.com, where you'll find close to or over 100 classic and collectible vehicles currently in inventory right now. Cars that range from the 1920s up into the 1970s and beyond. If you're looking for that first classic or your 100th classic, odds are Ellingson Motorcars probably has it sitting on the sales floor. You just have to come and take a look at our website and do it. Let's get back into the details of this really neat car. I've always been an Oldsmobile guy. My dad was an Olds man, whatever. It's just one of those cars I remember as a kid. Now, 1956 was a nice transition year. Oldsmobile made a lot more chrome. Look at the size of that intake. Everything looks like it's a jet airplane intake, or, you know, even look at the hood ornament. That was one of my favorite things as a kid, looking at that hood ornament, pretending that you were flying or whatever. You know, the Rocket 88. Of course, that's what's under the hood of this car, a 324 Rocket V8. It has that big 4-barrel on it. But here's the big thing about a 98. 98 being the top of the line, has all the goodies, all the accessories, all the things that, you know, in this day and age we kind of think just comes as standard equipment, but in 1956 everything was hand ordered. Whatever you wanted you had to check off on a checkoff list, unless of course it was standard equipment on the car. Well, 98 Starfire convertibles, there were not too many things that were not, as I will call it, standard equipment. This car has power steering, which is really a wonderful feature on a car that weighs, you know, close to 4,000 pounds. It's nice to have power steering, so when you got to take the corners or do the turns or whatever, it gives you that ability for parking or whatever. In this day and age, when you go to the car shows, it's nice to have power steering. Also, with this much weight, you better make sure you have some good brakes. Well, it has good brakes as well because it's got power brakes as well. But now, as I said, all the extra things, beautiful white color combination, by the way. Is this not 1950s all the way around? You know, the red with the white, I mean, that is about as good as you get. And they make sure to let you know what it is. It is a Starfire. And of course, it has the spinner hubcaps, very reminiscent of Oldsmobile, and the wide whites, which in 1956 was kind of one of those upgrades. The black wall tires, you know, on the lower end cars, whereas the white walls probably give it a lot better, more classy look, if you will. But here comes the neat part. You look at the interior on this particular car, beautiful interior all the way around. Beautiful seats. I mean, the steering wheel, everything in this car is just really pristine, very well done. I like the fact that they have a padded dash. The scars on my forehead prove cars that didn't have padded dashes. As a kid, we didn't even think about seat belts. This car actually even has seat belts in it as well, and they look like something that came from the era. Again, it would be an option. The other things that this car has, besides power steering, power brakes, this has power windows, power seat, a power antenna. I mean, it would have dual exhaust as well. Looks like it has the fancy radio in there as well, you know, AM radio. Really like the dash cluster in these cars. Really is just a neat round deal, kind of a race. There's one on each side. The clock over on the passenger side, the other side being behind the steering wheel. nice, you know, easy to do. Automatic transmission, 4-speed hydromatic. Anyone can jump in this car and drive it and go wherever you want to go. Has one other really cool feature that I think I remember we had in our 57 Olds. It has what's called the Auditronic Eye. Got to get that straight. It is an automatic headlight dimming device. You go, well, what does that mean? In 1956, yeah. You take this out, you're driving down the road, you have it on high beam, meets an oncoming car, click, click. The lights automatically dim to low beam, car goes by you, click, click, goes back on to brights. I mean, that's, and plus remember where the button is on the floor on these cars. There's nothing here to make high beam, low beam. There's a pedal, a little push button on the bottom with your left leg to get it from high beam to low beam. A lot of people don't remember that if you have new cars or whatever. The other thing that they did replace, I don't know if it was necessarily a good idea, but it was what they did, is they replaced some of the gauges with what we call idiot lights. I don't know why they call it that, but it just is a way to let you know how if the temperature gets hot, or it shows you the electrical charging system, whatever. But that's what they went to, simplify the dash, if you will. Now, of course, this has a power top, beautiful power top. Flip of a button, top goes up. You can get yourself out of it in case you misjudged and you went on it, rain clouds came and you weren't thinking that was coming. Beautiful boot as well, and like I said, dual exhaust. This thing has a really nice sound. Another reason to watch the entire video from start to finish. Now, you can find all of our stuff on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and now TikTok. Give us a like, leave us a comment, or subscribe. We appreciate it very much, and you'll find all the information on this car, our current inventory, and you'll find the information on cars we've sold over the last several years as well. So if you got time to cruise the internet and you got some time sitting in an airport or sitting someplace, take a look at those sites. I'm sure you'll find some entertaining value right there. No, Oldsmobile was always kind of a step up. I mean, they were 5th manufacturer of sales in 1956. But boy, I'll tell you what, this is the Starfire being the top of the line. It's got the bigger wheelbase, 126-inch wheelbase. I mean, the rear quarters on these things are a mile long. Here's an interesting thing I just actually learned. How can you identify an 88, which was a little lesser model, from the 98? The trim on the side is more rounded on the 98 cars than it is on the 88 cars. Something I didn't know, but hey, I'm always ready to learn something new when it comes to the old cars. There's certainly an awful lot to know about this stuff. So if you're just in the neighborhood and say, you know, I really love your video, it's really nice, it shows me what I want, but I still want to see it in person, come on down to Ellingson's. We are open Monday through Friday from 10 until 5 and Saturdays 10 to 4 as well. So you can come down, have a seat in the car, make sure it fits you, it's just what you like. Love the size of these steering wheels. I mean, they're good size no matter what. So it's just kind of something that if you want to come on down, love to have you here. Now you can give me a call anytime, or anyone or staff here at 763-428-7337, and we will do our best to answer any additional questions you have on this car, any of our other cars in inventory, and we can assist you with other things when it relates to classic and collectible cars. We can lead you in some directions for financing, shipping. Of course, you're out of state. We ship cars any place in the world for that matter. So if you don't let that stop you from finding your dream car sitting here on the sales floor. Well, I guess that's going to pretty much wrap up this one. This is a really, really beautiful car. I just really have been, like I said, Oldsmobile guy since I was a little kid. This is just a really, really nice example. Don't see too many of these floating around. See a lot of other makes and marks, but you know, an Oldsmobile to me was just that a little step above, if you will, of the Chevrolets and the Fords or whatever. So anyway, well, thank you for watching our video this time, and hopefully you get to watch some of our others, and we appreciate it very much, and I thank you again, and we'll see you next time at EllingsonMotorcars.com.